Everybody, it's Garrett here. We are back today in Scrap Mechanic, and I know it's been an eternity since I have really recorded or played this game seriously. So we're back in it today, and as you know, the Scrap Mechanic world as a whole has been rocked lately. In the past week or so, we've had the Spud Gun update, we've had the Wing mod, the Electromagnet mod. I mean, these are just game-changing mods here, and we're going to be using one of them today, that being the Magnet mod, to make what you probably already know because of the title. But today we will be making a railgun in Scrap Mechanic, which is really cool because it's a very futuristic type of gun. So we'll be using the electromagnet here, and you can get this mod on the workshop. It's fairly easy to find. It's right at the top right now. You can't miss it, but it's just called electromagnets. And yeah, so they're logic looking blocks like this, and you can, by pressing whatever key you have set to use something, what would happen, like with a timer or another logic gate, it would open up that interface. It switches the magnet settings, so now it's set on north and south. So you have N and S, that stands for north and south. If two magnets are set at the same setting and they're close to each other, they'll repel, and if they're set to opposite settings and they're close to each other, they will attract. And so this is the force we'll be capitalizing on to make our railgun. So first of all, we're just going to line the sides here. We're just going to make a very basic model just as a kind of a concept. You could expand these, make them rapid fire, all kinds of stuff, but this is basically just for the concept. So once we get all of our magnets lined up here, by the way, these magnets aren't very laggy if you keep a sane amount of them. I was watching a Con Gaming video the other day, and it was he was talking about electric motors and stuff, and it got insanely laggy because they had way too many magnets. But if you keep like just this amount, the lag really, I mean, I'm running at 60 FPS, no problem. So we'll put it back up there. Next, we'll just cover the back here. Okay, and so now we're gonna set all of these to actually we'll set them to north. So set all of these. You could do south as well, but it only takes one click to do north, so it'll be a lot quicker this way. And what this is going to do is when we connect these, and these are, by the way, these are electromagnets, not magnets. If you couldn't tell that already, so that means basically they're inactive. They act like a normal block until they get a signal from, say, a switch or a button or something of that nature. So right now they're neutral, and so these are all set to north, and so now we can cover the top here. And that is the barrel of our railgun. And then we'll just extend out the back a little bit. And this is going to be our firing chamber back here. Alrighty. Alright, so now we need to make ammo. Well, actually, first we'll just hook it all up to a switch. So just hook all of these magnets up to a switch or a button. Either will work, but I'll just use a switch. It makes things a little bit simpler, because if you used a button, you would need to make it, you need to remember to hold it for a length of time to give the projectile time to get out the end of the barrel. But with a switch, it works better in my opinion, but you can use whatever you'd like. All these dots, you gotta remember which one you're hooking up to. Okay, so that side is completely hooked up. I'll go to this side. Alrighty, so now these are all hooked up. So when we hit the switch, they should all activate. And so now we need to make ammo. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make kind of smart ammo, if you will. It's kind of basically it takes its time firing, just so you don't have any, or you minimize the glitching. So we'll set these, since our magnets in the barrel are set to north, we'll set these ones to south. Now we need a timer. I'll just put this on 2 ticks, just to give it plenty of time to get down into the chamber before it fires. And a sensor in the back. Then we're going to put this on color mode, and we're going to set it to white. I'll just bring that down to 1. And then we'll paint the back of the firing chamber white. And so now, we'll lift all this up. So the sensor goes to the timer, and the timer activates the magnets. And so now we should be good to go. That is our projectile. And so actually, I'll just save this as ammo, just so we can fire multiple. So now we'll load her up and see how she goes. Okay, this is what I was afraid of. One more block. Okay, so when we let this go, well, I'm not going to use it. If we had this already activated, when we drop that, it'll fire. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it and then hit the switch to fire. So those magnets are activated. Cover it up, and then just make like a little backstop so we can see it ricochet. And when we hit the switch, it'll fire. Oops, here, I'll just move it over a little bit. Oops. Whoa, that's really powerful.
A few moments later.
We're set up here to fire this thing. It's all set up. You can see the ammo is in there, and the ammo magnets are set up and they're firing right now. So all we need to do is hit the switch and it should fire. So here we go. Boom. And I mean, it's insanely powerful. I mean, you can't even see it on the Connect tool anymore. I mean, you saw it fly off in the really quickly there. I'll play it back in a little bit of slow motion for you, just so you can, if you missed it, you can see it again here. Now I have a new model of railgun set up here. We're going to try this out. I haven't tested this prior to making the video, so this is complete just myth busting right now. So just spawn in a few of these. So now we'll get up here and load them in. And the switch is off, by the way, so when they hit the bottom, it won't fire right away. Or it won't fire at all until I hit the switch. Alright. First one is down and armed and ready. Oh, you're a noob, Garrett. There we go. So I'm just going to try 2 at a time for the first time, because I don't want to completely crash the world here. As if that would ever happen in Scrap Mechanic. But as you can see, since only the bottom block in the magazine is painted white, you can see the second round there isn't firing. So now, in theory, when we hit the switch, two shells should fire. So here we go. Haha, glitched. Okay, so it seems like we're gonna need a little bit of a timing mechanism here to kind of separate when they go in. I might do what I did with my rapid fire piston cannon. I don't even know if I don't think I showcased that, but basically, um, what it does is, freaks out right at the, right as you go, but, when you fire it, these pistons right there regulate, basically how fast stuff can go in. Make sure only one goes into the firing chamber. So I think that's what I'm gonna do with this, so then I don't have issues with too many shells going in or glitches and stuff like that. So okay, now I need pistons. So the idea here is that we'll be able to regulate when this thing loads another shell. That will be helpful in getting rid of the glitchies. We'll weld these two together. Now when we well, actually we're gonna need to do some logic here. This is gonna look really messy, but it's just concept here. Alright, and so we're gonna have another switch connected to that, and that goes to here, and this is gonna be XOR. And so these are going to be set at 2. Max that out. Okay, XOR. Oh no, not XOR, sorry, wrong gate. Active. No. If any of them are inactive. There we go. That's the right gate. So now when we hit the switch, it lets one in, right? I think we're going to need to slow this down. It's just going to glitch out. I think we need 2 pistons, actually. I think we need 2 pistons. Because if we're just going to end up glitching into that. Okay. I think what we'll do is extend it out one more. Oops, it's not on the lift. Then we're going to take some wedges here. Where are the wedges? There we go. Okay, and this is going to be set to 2 as well. 2, I think. Yeah, 2. Okay. So now the... okay, perfect. So when we hit this, shunk. I might need to add a controller into this. Yeah, I think so. Because we need it to be preset at one block, and when you hit the switch, it goes out to the second block. You mind? Oh, I don't. There we go. Get it to face the right way. So we're going to disconnect these. We're going to put this to there, that to there, that to there. Oops. It's going to be preset at 1. And then 2 when the switch is activated. Right? Huh? Why is it doing that? Oh, it's doing it in reverse. I see, because I want it there when the switch is inactive, and then all the way in when it's inactive. Actually, what if I just go skip the logic? I think that's what's screwing me up. Okay, we're going to preset this at 1. When the switch is hit, we're going 2. Okay. Hopefully that works. There we go. Should probably put a bigger base on this, just for a little bit of stability. Come on. Okay, now we're stable. So now, when we hit the, Huh? Do I just leave those out there? Oh, I see. Okay. So now what it should do is those wedges that are on the end of the piston, the wood that's on the pistons here, it should load one in, and then those wedges should push all the other ones back up. That's the theory anyways. So, or that's the idea behind it. So now we'll just put a little bit of a step here. Actually, we should... I'm going to take off the top layer here just to make it easier to get up, and I feel like we're not going to be able to make it work at the amount that this magazine can hold. I feel like it's just going to be too glitchy. Okay, so that's activated. Now we'll do the piston separation, and so now we've got blocks in the way. Oops, probably should put a something to weld it to. And we'll do one more just to see if the reloader works. Hopefully this doesn't completely glitch out. I'm realizing now I probably should weld it to the ground. Okay, so we're gonna fire the first round here. Okay, works like normal. Shut down that. Okay. Now it's loaded in. And now if we do... Did we push it back up? Ha! We did. Okay, perfect. And now we should be able to fire again. I think that one might have glitched, but oh well. And then finally let the last one into the chamber, and then fire for the last time. Did it not go into the chamber? Oh, it didn't go into the chamber. How lovely. Okay, now it's in there. Okay, here we go. And there we go. So that is the that's how to make a rail gun, whether you want it to be magazine fed like this or just single shot. I feel like the single shot's a lot more simple because you just have a whole lot less glitching. However, the magazine one's just a lot cooler because you don't have to reload. But I feel like these things could be really cool if you mount them on a turret or whatever. It'd be like the harpoons I made in a previous video, how to make harpoons, if you want to look that up on my channel. But it'd kind of work like that, where it just penetrates the vehicle and just completely spazzes them out and stuff. So I think that's what this would do. But it'd be cool if you put them on a turret or whatever. But regardless, we're not going to do that in this video because it's already getting quite long, so I believe I'll end the episode here. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope this railgun tutorial was helpful to you in your railgun endeavors and scrap mechanic. If you found it helpful or enjoyed it, please give it a like. And if you really liked it, maybe think about subscribing to keep up to date with all of the awesome content on my channel. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.